Now, what day is it today? September 28th. And we're doing an interview with Doug and Helga Leaney. So you were just going to tell me about the change from 98 to...
Well, from when we started in 1989 until 1998, so that's 11 years. Mm-hmm. The first 11 years, this was just a thriving place down here. The market, it was completely full of kind of nice little shops. Mm-hmm. Not that everybody was perhaps doing incredibly well, but it attracted people. There was tons of people on the boardwalk, and a big part of our business was walk-ons. And 98, when everything changed, which it did to allow for the casino to come in, but when the casino came in, everything just changed completely. We used to have that nice seafood restaurant called Finn's here.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember that?
Yeah, we've heard a lot of
it. They were concerned that the casino boat would come in and have a big fine dining restaurant on it, and it would hurt them. And I think there was some kind of an addition put to the agreement between the city and the casino that they would not put in a fine dining restaurant. But it wasn't. I don't think it was a year later. Finn's was out of business. They had to close up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And no matter what they called their restaurant on the casino, it was a big, nice restaurant, and they had both a nice restaurant and a smaller, like a cafe. So it just changed the whole complexion down here.
Was there controversy about bringing in the casino before it came in? Like, was there debate in New West, or?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
As there is everywhere that they're bringing a casino.
Sure,
a lot of people are against the casino because they think it's going to cause gambling addiction and this kind of thing. And the promoters of the casino and the city made it all sound so exciting and like it was going to.
It was going to really make everything come to life here.
And so the casino did well, I think, and they were initially, we shouldn't talk so much about the casino, but they were initially supposed to go out every day for like an hour or something, and cruise. They go down.
Oh yeah, so it actually was an operating boat. Oh, I didn't know that.
And then it got so there was some reason, whether it be mechanical or weather, that they didn't want to do that. But from the start, they really didn't want to do that because they had to hire a full crew and whatnot. And I guess some of the gambling people didn't want to be away from dock. When they ran out of money, they'd just soon leave.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's when the changes began, and then it wasn't all that long after that. I don't know how many years, but finally the market closed. The casino boat closed up, and they built the big casino over in Queensboro. So.
Right. Is that what caused the casino to close up here? Like,
no. It was
those
people that did it.
I see.
They amalgamated with another one.
Built it
or
over there, and then they wound up with I think 3 times as many
slots
machines.
And stuff.
Huge location over there.
And that's nice. Nothing wrong with that. The boat sat here for a couple of years before
3 or 4.
Yeah, before nobody would buy it, and it was quite a shame. So there wasn't much here. There wasn't a market. The casino boat wasn't here, mind you. That didn't bring business really for anybody else. So it was a pretty quiet place, and it took a lot of work for us just to try to get people to come for our little attraction. The casino has a lot of the casino in the city has a lot of money to promote that kind of thing. We do what we promote, we have to pay for. So it was kind of difficult. But anyway, That's
when
probably all
everything
you-
closed here, it was really hard. It was very
All the
hard.
little shops were closed.
You know, like that. There was nothing here anymore.
Did you find that the atmosphere of the area had changed, like the liveliness and things like that? in
There
the
was
market?
none.
There was
Yeah.
nobody on the boardwalk, basically. You know,
Just people that lived on the,
Yeah,
you know,
they'd
down
Yeah.
here.
walk,
So,
but it wasn't
yeah,
attractive.
it was very tough.
They did a beautiful job of renovating the market. No question about it. The market is nice as a structure and inside.
Sure, yeah.
But and what they've got in there, and I don't think what they have in there is what they initially thought they would have in there. Because you know they thought number one, they thought they would have one big drawing business, and at one time it was going to be the big health food store. You remember that?
Oh,
White Rock. I forget
Choices.
Choices. Yeah. That didn't work, and it was going to be something else, and then it wound up being Donald's Market. That was.
I think
the
Donald's
thing.
is a nice market.
It is.
It's
Sure,
very
yeah.
nice. They have a lot of.
And it's needed here, so you know that's. I think that's fine, but the circus school that doesn't draw visitors, and now they've got a college on the upper or some kind of a college on the upper level. That doesn't really draw that, but they had to do something. They had to get
Revenue.
some revenue coming in, you know. So they're leasing to people that want the space,
Right.
and so it still isn't bringing visitors, tourists in particular, to this area. That's
Yeah.
probably our biggest disappointment with what's happened in New Westminster is the lack of it becoming a tourist destination. And Tourism New Westminster is working really, really hard, and we're a part of them. And
Yes,
there's
yeah.
money being spent, working hard. But you know, when these tour companies look at areas, they say, okay, how do I sell this, and then what do I sell there?
Yeah,
So-
and what have you got to offer?
Exactly. So
So
it's been
not a
tough
lot.
getting people to come back. We used to have a big business with out of town tour companies, and quite a few in the U.S. And of course, when 9/11 happened, that stopped it basically completely. Because nobody was
incredible.
going to travel, and
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
you know that combined with prices, fuel prices, and accommodation prices were pretty high up here. So that just came to an end. We're just starting to see that come back in the last,
Very little.
but very little.
Very
yeah,
little.
In,
Yeah,
in
I
the
think
last
we've had
couple of years.
2 tour companies from the U.S. come this year. That were,
And we send out information to hundreds,
Wow.
you know,
Yeah.
and it's really difficult.
well,
to buy.
here's a good example, Andrew, and I mean, I wasn't even here for this event, but Tej had put together, and I think it was through tourism, they had brought in, maybe the city and tourism or something, had brought in this tour company from
From China. That's
China.
right. Yeah.
From
Yeah.
China. And they were they're a big company, and they wanted to bring tours here.
Right.
So they took them to the attractions, and I guess they weren't thrilled.
Oh, no.
You know, well, you have what, Irving House, the
Well,
Discovery
and
Center,
the museum up beside
yeah, and the
Irving House,
you know,
and,
all that.
and they're
Samson.
interesting, but you know, when you're dealing with people from Europe and Asia, you know, they have so much history
Yeah.
that they think, well, this goes back 100 years or 200 years, and
Yeah.
that's not very much.
Not
So
the most dynamic.
It
No,
may not
unfortunately,
yes.
impress them. The last thing they saw was our boat, and they liked that, and,
Oh.
and they said that they might be able to sell a tourist coming to this. Never heard from them since.
Oh, wow.
and
No,
we've
and I'm
contacted
sure
them.
they put a lot of work into getting this company over here
Right.
to see this, right?
Tej spent a whole day with them, and you know,
Oh,
she's a
wow.
pretty good sales girl. So
Yeah.
with her working on it,
So you know, it's
Mark
sad.
saw them on the boat here, and he said he could tell that Tej was pretty disappointed with the reaction that she was getting.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But it kind of paints the picture. We were working with also a new bus company that was trying to get their business going, and we were doing a few things with them. They we were going to do tours of the city as one thing, and we were also doing combination tours from here to Surrey and then Fort Langley, and it was going to be one-way bus and the other way on the boat, and a lot of work was put into that, and then I think I had about 3 buses, I guess. And
Yeah.
they weren't the best buses, but they worked. And finally, he was just having so much trouble getting enough money, and he was spending a lot of money getting his buses ready.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that he wanted to do, we've got beautiful homes up there in the West. It's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
And so that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Well, he was told he couldn't do that because it was going to disturb their peace.
No, I don't think he was told he couldn't do that. I don't think anybody could say you can't do that.
Well, I remember him saying that to me, that somebody, there was resistance.
Probably somebody said something like that. When we first started, we came in... Forget, it must have been our second year. We came in on a Friday night at 10 o'clock, and there was music on the boat. And we got a phone call from the city the next day saying there was complaints about the noise and you're going to have to stop.
Oh, no.
This was the kind of attitude
Yeah.
there was. Here we were, something brand new, and there was people who were enjoying it. And I forget who it was at the city, but I said, well, it's all part of attractions here, and he said, there was not really much of a conversation. He says, well, either you stop or we're going to talk to the city lawyer.
Oh, my goodness.
I never heard anything again about it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, that's kind of things to face.
Thank you, Will. We always envision this as a mini San Francisco. You've got all those hills, you've got all that history, you've got
the houses
beautiful
too.
homes, you've got it. That's that's, to me, that's what it should be.
We had the Vancouver trolley people here looking at it. And, and thought, well, great combination. Had the little trolleys running up and down, and people seeing the houses. And,
stopping at Irving House, the museum, all those beautiful little
pretty
stops.
Interested in
It
it.
could be made so nice.
And then something happened, and they said, no, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that in Westminster. And, I forget, I didn't realize how many of those little trolley buses
he's got
they've
quite a number of them,
Yeah, they got...
So different people have tried to do different things, and it just never has come to fruition. So what it would take, I have absolutely no idea. Whether it's funding or, those people like the trolley people. They're successful people in Vancouver. So for them to want to come out here, they would know what to do.
Right.
So what is it that didn't jive?
Something didn't work.
And you wonder if it's to all of the new residents, that are not, like I always say, everyone, all my people who are my age and stuff, everyone wants to live in New West, and there's all the apartment buildings going up and stuff. And then someone else that we were speaking with said, there's all these new residents that aren't sort of New West, and then they move here, and there are elements about New West that they don't like. Oh. So if there's noise coming from X, Y, and Z, that was his thought. If there's noise coming from the paddle wheeler, and you've moved here because you want to live in New West, then we don't like the noise from the paddle wheeler, that kind of thing.
My honest opinion is that it had nothing to do with people who just moved here. I think this was the people who have lived here.
Oh, yeah.
And something was
we're used to not having any noise. They went to bed at 9 o'clock. There was lots of seniors living here.
Sure.
And,
well, and, a lot of people don't like change. Sure,
that's right.
And that's one of the problems, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe tension between residents and the need for the city to make money through tourism and that kind of thing, and have tour groups in, and maybe going past the houses, which people do all the time who live in Delta or whatever. We drive by the houses in New West just to see them.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
so you would think that
if you take the average lower mainlander, not a lot of people know about the houses in New West. I've said to lots of people, we're the oldest, we being New Westminster, are the oldest city in Western Canada.
Yeah.
And they say, what do you mean? That's not possible, but it's a fact.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
the oldest city in Western Canada.
It's
It's got so much going for it. There's so much opportunity here that we just have to get more aggressive with how we get the news out to people. And the first thing we've got to do is get some people who have some sway and some initiative to say, okay, I'm going to take a shot at Westminster and make things happen here.
Right.
And once that happens, and then the word gets around and people see what's happening, then I think New Westminster is going to be a real bustling place.
Have you thought about working with the museum at all? Like just partnering with them?
But
or
no, not. I mean, we worked with the museum and Archie Miller. Archie was living in Irving House when we first started.
Oh, wow.
And worked with them a lot.
Yeah, and the Discovery Center, we've tried lots of stuff. Like, we tried a few years ago, what we did is we had school groups that would go to the Discovery Center, Samson 5, and then have a little tour on the boat. And it worked great, but you know, with the cost of everything going up so much, we were doing it for, what was it? We were getting $10 of whatever they were selling it for, and which is, you know, bare bones, basically. So then the other thing that happened is that I'm trying to remember.
Well, funding for the school buses.
That's
and,
right. They couldn't get the funding
they
anymore.
couldn't get the buses to bring them.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Without paying for it. The kids would have to raise money to pay for the buses to get them here. You know? And I don't know if that's changed or not.
I don't know either. I know Catherine still gets schools coming through. And I was talking to her not too long ago, and I said, Catherine, no, she said to me, she says, we've got to work together on getting more schools going. And I said, hey, whatever, definitely, let's sit down and figure out what we can do here. And so that was during the busiest time in the summer. So it is something that we do want to do with her again and see if we can possibly put something together that would make sense for everybody, because I know they need money. We all, you know, we can't run this thing for nothing. So,
but I think your question is very valid. We
yes.
probably have gotten, especially when things got so sparse down here that there was really nothing much to see. We got very enclosed to ourselves because our focus had to be, we got to get people here to see us, and you know, if there's nothing else, well, not much we can do about it. And probably we haven't got back to working as closely as we should with some of the other things that are here. It's a bit. One of the things with Irving House and the museum is how do we get people from here to there or there to here? If they don't come here by car, then there is no transport. You know,
right?
If there was a little bus, like this is one of the things that the trolley and this other little bus company that we were working.
They were going to do.
I never finished that. He finally closed up. He was having so much problem, and it was really, really sad because he had put a lot.
And his buses were actually done like a covered wagon.
Oh, neat.
Oh, they looked really nice.
Such a shame.
So it was a real neat combination, covered wagon, paddle wheeler.
Yeah.
But he had some real discouraging things happen to him. Mechanical problems with at least one of his buses, and problems with one of the tour companies that came up from the States that we did a joint thing with, and they were unhappy with his buses. And he finally sent us an email, and he said, I'm closing up.
Closing up shop?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we were really disappointed.
Yeah, we
and
thought
we
it
felt
would be
real
great.
bad for him because that was a hard blow for him.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to figure out how to get the big companies, the big bus companies don't want to do that. That's, you know, too little. But
I wonder when the Anvil Center goes up, that'll be much closer, you know, and they'll be doing work on the waterfront exhibit, you know, where if you could get them to say, you know, come see the work on the waterfront exhibit, and then go and see it.
I think there's good opportunities for us when the Anvil Center gets going. They're, I guess, going to have lots of business meetings and
conventions and stuff, right?
The aim, to have lots of different activities.
And we could certainly work with them on that, and
Yeah.
There must be a lot of frustration, though, for all of these avenues that you've sought out and haven't.
Over the
turned
years,
out
yes.
and-
I mean, we've always thought of these great things, and blum.
Yeah.
Just
And
didn't happen.
as I say, I'm sure there was more that we could have done and be doing now, and we've got to get ourselves doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
I guess for us, we've been trying so hard for so long that it's hard to get back into the focus of saying, well, let's start on this end over again.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it'll happen.
Yeah, we won't give up yet.
It's New West has become really active on social media and stuff. I wonder if you guys did like a Facebook page or a Twitter page.
We do have
got
Facebook.
all
do
of
you?
that.
Yeah, we
Oh,
don't
online,
Twitter
like-
because for us Twitter's too fast. Like,
Yeah.
we can't do that.
It takes
But,
a
yeah,
time
but
commitment to have
Facebook, we do have our Facebook page. We have our web page. We're on TripAdvisor, Yelp.
wow.
What else?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, as much as we
our-
can possibly,
Probably the
handle.
majority of our business comes from our website,
Oh, wow.
and they can book right on that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's been a big help, actually. Yeah, it is.
And do you find that the special events that you guys do are well subscribed to, like Halloween and fireworks and that kind of thing?
Everything takes a sales job.
Yeah, it does. And you know what
Oh
we're
my.
finding these days is that people don't understand. Like, for instance, our Halloween cruise is $34.95. Okay, that is there's 3 prizes: first prize, second prize, and third prize. Other than that, you get a 3-hour cruise. You've got a DJ and have a good time. You can buy food and drinks. Some people think that's a horrible high price.
Oh, I disagree.
Well, all they have to do is check the prices.
Oh,
the
yeah, it's
other
much more
boat guys
expensive to
and,
go
in
downtown to any of
Vancouver.
the places downtown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
would be like $60 or something
I
for
know.
a ticket.
We
So-
tend to be dealing with people that are not willing to spend much money.
Yeah, and I don't know
we
why
have
that
found
is,
that.
Andrea, because, I mean, if anybody goes out, for instance, our dinner is $69.95 for a 3-hour cruise. You get a 3-course meal, blah, 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 blah. $69. And people think that's horrible. And, I mean, the two of us can go out and spend more money than that.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not on a
restaurant.
cruise boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It almost seems to me that the clientele we're drawing here are not obviously of the spenders.
Yeah.
They're very much into. I don't know whether they're low income people or I don't know.
Right.
It's a real conundrum. I mean, we don't. Obviously, we have a big mix. You've got your spenders and you've got your non-spenders, but for the most part, the $34.95 for the Halloween cruise, I'm hoping it's going to go, but it's still a challenge. It's a challenge, and I don't know why it is a challenge.
We're going to have to wrap up before too
Yeah.
long.
Oh,
and
sure,
we got
yeah.
to get ready to get the mob on.
Yeah.
Yes,
The big mob.
breaking down
Is
the
there,
gates.
is
Yeah.
there anything else specifically that you want
No,
us to
I
talk
think I
about?
just wanted to talk with you guys about
It's,
your thoughts about
Yeah.
the city and the
Yeah.
business and
Yeah.
the struggles and frustrations and things like that
Yeah.
and successes. and-
there are positive things. One of the things that I think our mayor Wainwright has done a lot of really good things for New Westminster, and I think he's been one of the best mayors that we've had since we've been here. We hear lots of people that disagree with that, but I think he's trying hard. I think he gets lots of opposition.
I think he's always been really interested in the waterfront, which is wonderful. I mean, to me, this waterfront is much nicer than Lonsdale. I mean, it's more beautiful. You've got this open space. It's just
Absolutely.
and it should be a thriving boardwalk here all the time.
Yeah.
Not just with people that live here, people that actually come to see this per se.
And it's unique too, the
It's-
river attraction.
Oh, it's
it
so
feels-
unique.
Yeah.
It's so unique, and that is one of the things that Wayne, I know, has tried really hard to get people to understand that the river is important to New Westminster.
Right.
But like Doug says, I know he's struggled with with opposition as well. So
Yeah, right in his own domain, he's had to struggle with lots of opposition, and he's proven himself because he's in for his third term or something now.
Third term,
fourth or something, third. I'm
Third,
not sure, but
his last term anyway. So
no, he can have one more.
Oh, really?
So here, yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he even goes for it, but he's done well. Lots of building going on, lots of improvements that should help New Westminster. The Pier Park, that's good. It isn't drawing tourists, but it's good for local people,
right?
And people that like to come down here for that sort of thing.
Sure.
I'm sure. We're probably kind of on the brink of this starting to break loose in New Westminster. As soon as Helga and I say the hell with it, we're gonna leave. That's exactly when New Westminster is going to be the most famous place in.
Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah,
it is totally.
But I've got faith in New Westminster, but I'm not sure I have faith in the timing.
Right.
So that's for us. That's the difficult part.
So it's a labor of love right now. Then
it is.
Always has been.
Yeah.
Well, and it's
hasn't been a labor of money.
No, it doesn't. It definitely hasn't.
Yeah.
But we're also getting to an age where we need to look at, hey, how long can we do this?
What's going to happen here? Yeah.
Yeah. We have to be realistic.
We don't want to be carried off the boat.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah. You want to be able to head off under your own steam.
Exactly.
At least
Exactly. So.
Well.
Well, thanks for the conversation.
Well, you're welcome.
You're
that's
welcome.
great.
I
It's
don't
really
know what's
useful
going to come
get.
of all this, but hopefully it'll be looked at and listened to maybe in the future. And
Absolutely,
in
it will.
2050,
Yeah.
they'll say,
Well, 50
those
years from now,
people."
they say, man, they had a tough time. Then.
But I always say some people are worried about what they are saying is irrelevant or whatever, but I always say there'll be a graduate student one day and this is exactly what they're looking for, and they'll say, oh my goodness, this is the best source ever. Yeah, so it'll be,
that's funny.
I think the most important thing that we're doing is having these go into the archive, actually, because they're doing the big exhibit and stuff at the Anvil Center, but I'm most excited about having this go into the record and other researchers be able to look into it if
to access it.
Well, the reason that we're here still is because we love our business, and we get a lot of really nice people on board.
Yeah, we do.
And you said that you get a lot of returns too, and like I felt like that, like now that I've been on a cruise, I thought, oh, this is great. Like I would not hesitate to come back, but it must be that difficulty of getting the people on for the first time.
That's what it is. We can't depend on the people that we've got on to always come back. I mean, you're only going to do something like this so many times.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's bringing new people to it. That's
exactly.
Absolutely the big thing.
I get your frustration though, because now that I've done it, it's great. Like I would recommend it to anyone. It was fabulous.
Well,
it was a really great way to tour your own area,
and
you don't get to see the river like this ever. And I drive over it. Like I say, I drive over it every day on the Patella Bridge, and you see it from above. And I always think, that was pretty down there.
That's pretty all right.
But you never see it from. It was amazing to see it from this perspective. It was so different. Yeah.
And
so
people
really
often they'll say, "Well, if I'm going to come a cruise, what am I going to see? It's not very pretty, is it?" And I'll say, "Yes,
but it is.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is.
And
yes,
we saw the seals.
I know.
Sturgeon.
And
cool.
this year in particular, I have seen a lot of the big fish.
The sturgeon.
Sturgeon,
which I hardly ever saw before in all the years.
So neat.
So to see a big sturgeon coming up to the surface and doing a bit of a jump, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
and you think if you get
and the eagles
for sure. if you get a bigger sense of people thinking that they want to see work too, you know, it's kind of cool
Yeah,
to see.
what goes on.
And in
right?
Belfast, I lived in Belfast for a while, and they do a lot of tourism around the port and the cranes and things like
Right.
that. So if you get a bigger sense of, you know, work as something to see and something,
Yeah.
it is cool to
It
look
is
at. You know,
cool.
there's all the
It is
different
cool.
colors and
Yeah,
it's
it
really
is
neat.
absolutely. Well, we have the wildlife, we have industry,
Yeah.
we have beautiful scenery.
Oh yeah,
you
it was
know,
gorgeous.
it's
Yeah.
I know it's got everything. It really does. What can
Well,
I
and
say?
we go
Get
to
it
the
out there.
remote areas like Pitt Lake. Our other boat goes up
Yeah.
to Pitt Lake, and that's a beautiful cruise. That's
Right.
really interesting.
Yes, yeah.
So anyway,
It's very neat.
Well, she's
lots
going to
of info.
Thanks
Australia,
for-
so she won't get to go
Where
to
are you
Pitt
going?